thirsty. It's time. Phew. This is Viewer Takeover. We film every Monday night, and then we bring it to YouTube every Tuesday whenever I get around to editing it, because you guys know how this thing rolls. My name's Brian Paul from this channel right here without Parole, and this guy here in the middle is AJ from PSVR Underground.
Sup?
You know, how's it going, AJ?
You know, when it was Michelle and Jeremy and Dez, I always had to be like, guys, make sure you have something interesting to say when I introduce you. And they were like, sure, no problem. And then it was always just like this. It was like, hey, and they were like, what's up? Silence.
Well, I can't tell you exactly what I told you before.
We're all family here, AJ.
Yeah.
I'm using that story for the outro, don't worry.
No.
It's all recorded.
And that guy in the far left of your screen is Dave from Dave Station VR. David, how are you doing today? Something interesting?
Not too bad. So when I was up there for the GameCat meetup in Massachusetts, I picked up Super Mario Sunshine from Brian, and I haven't had a chance to play it, but as soon as we finish wrapping this, I got my Wii all hooked up to my HDTV, got a GameCube controller, and I'm finally ready to pop back into Super Mario Sunshine. So that is an exciting thing for me. And I just also paid my parking ticket. So that's out of the way, too.
That was really interesting. I'm glad you added that. So Dave mentioned that I sold him a game while he was up here. I sold AJ some games while he was up here. And that's all because I'm like selling my collection, and I've been talking about doing that for a very long time, but I'm actually finally getting around to doing it this week. So like My Chemical Romance tickets that I can't afford, and
shit.
And I have to start selling a lot of stuff. Yeah, sirens on my end,
your end,
as always. So I've got a lot of stuff going up on eBay. I've started deciding which systems I can part with and which ones I can't. Strangely enough, I'm keeping my entire Atari Jaguar collection. What a strange thing to hold on to, man.
You always speak so highly of the Jaguar, though. I feel like that's got a sweet spot in your memory, you know?
It's just one of those obscure things that I'd rather just keep. That's all. I'm probably never going to play it again, but I just want to keep those boxes on my wall. Anyway, let's get around.
Do you have Gex for it? There was Gex on there.
Gex was not on Jaguar. That was a 3DO and PS1 thing.
Okay. Well then it's useless.
Obviously.
Throw it out.
Obviously useless. You're telling me you weren't a fan of Trevor McFur in the Crescent Galaxy?
I don't think I've even heard of it.
I've even heard of it. Yeah,
it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Maybe one of the worst shoot 'em ups
His name is
I'll keep an eye out for
Trevor
that one to
McFur.
Yeah, obviously they were going for a Star Fox thing.
Star Fox, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Trevor McFur.
Meanwhile, the
Sounds
game that
better than
actually
Star
looks like
Fox.
Star Fox is called Cyber. Oh my god, I just blanked. Yep, Cyber Forest. Fuck me, I can't believe I just forgot the name of the game. All right, guys, let's.
What do we do on this show, Brian?
We forget important pieces of video game history. I can't believe that just happened. Cyberpilot? No, that's Wolfenstein. God damn it.
Let it go.
I can't let it go. I'm losing my mind right now. Okay. Anyway, guys, we need to thank a bunch of people, and the first person we need to thank is Talking Nerdy, who sent us that awesome viewer takeover introduction. I mean, I didn't know where that was going, man. I was like, I know I like it because it's Resident Evil themed.
Yeah.
I was like, but then I didn't realize how much I liked it till we get to the end of it. That was awesome.
I like his little monologue too. He opens up the thing and he's like, thirsty. I'm thirsty.
That was really good. I really liked it. I mean, Resident Evil 7, I've been playing that a lot lately, and gonna play some more soon.
Still didn't stream the thing.
I know. I will. When I do, you'll know because I'll be streaming it.
Right.
But yeah, it couldn't have been a better timing because I'm in such a great Resident Evil mood right now, and yeah,
Cybermorph.
nice little. God damn it, Brian.
Remember
Nobody
Cyber-
gives a shit. Everybody had forgotten about that.
Listen, there was gonna be one person in the comments that was like, "I can't believe you didn't remember the name of that game, Cybermorph."
Nobody.
Where did you learn to
was gonna
fly?
say that.
Where did you learn
Because
to fly?
You're the only one that know that game exists.
I'm not the only one. There's like
That's
at
not
least
true.
one other person.
That's not true.
Thank you, Talking Nerdy, for
Yes.
that awesome viewer takeover intro, and even imposed the viewer takeover onto the TV.
Yep.
Like we're like one of the lost tapes right now.
Fancy video
Exactly.
editing.
We are Banned Footage Volume 3.
Yes.
If you out there, right there, you pointing to you, want to introduce next week's viewer takeover, the chances that you are able to do it is really effing high. You know why? Because we have no more in the queue. Talking Nerdy sent that along, and I was like, that's awesome because we get nothing. So send your short, sweet, seductive. Honestly, guys, I love when people get creative, but all we really want to do is see the faces of all the game cats out there, and just point your cell phone at yourself. Landscape mode, not portrait. I don't know why people do that. And just say, hey, my name is Brian Paul. I'm a game cat. Meow. Welcome to Viewer Takeover. And
So somebody's going to send you one where they say, I'm Brian Paul. I'm a game cat being smart.
Yeah.
But you should include it.
I'm totally down. I would totally be down for that. That would be great.
But that's not the
Without
only
parole at
people we want to
gmail.com.
thank now, is it, Brian?
No, we also want to thank all these people down here. All these people down here that went to patreon.com/without parole.
Games.
And everyone's giving us $1 or more every single month. Jeremy and I just filmed an awesome Litterbox episode. We are getting back on schedule with those. If you don't know what Litterbox is, it's basically me and Jeremy just shooting the shit. If you don't know who Jeremy is, watch Why We Love episodes on Monday. He's the funniest guy I know. No offense, guys. He's hilarious.
Wow. Rude.
No,
But I agree.
not rude at all. You guys are awesome, but he's hilarious.
Jeremy
He's the king of just sitting
spoken.
around talking
Little
shit.
box
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, we don't even talk really about video games. We just shoot the shit. We get caught up on life for like 20 minutes or so, 10, 20 minutes. And then we post it up on Patreon to make an exclusive thing. So if you guys just can't get enough without parole, that's seriously just $1 or more every month. Hopefully it doesn't mean very much to you, but it means the world to me. So please consider that. The link is in
Brian,
the description.
We would like to also thank some other people, Mr.
Yes.
Brian and Dave Station.
Yes.
Or Dave.
Yes.
We also want to thank the
Call
people
me whatever
who
you like.
followed Beauty and the K's lead and changed their name to GameCat because GameCats are the loyal following of Without Parole. And yeah, I know. I stole your monologue. I apologize.
I have one job and you've taken it from me.
So if you change your name to GameCat, sir or madam, make sure you let us know in the comments below by putting hashtag GameCat, all one word, so that we can give you a shout out on next week's show, just like we're going to give these people a shout out on this week's show. Can you guys tell I'm feeling better?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
back on coffee.
Great to see.
All right, AJ, who changed your name to GameCat this week?
Brian, we have 3 new Game Cats to welcome into the Game Cat Dojo.
Nice.
Starting with Marcus, the Swedish Game Cat Bostrom.
Is that Swedish?
Okay.
Yeah? Is that?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Nobody knows.
You guys like Swedish fish?
You tried.
I love Swedish
is
fish.
great.
I'm not a fan.
And
But I do
also,
love the Stroop waffles. Stroop waffles.
I don't know
Oh,
what to- I don't know what to-
those,
waffles
oh
are not
God.
bad.
For such a coffee maniac, they're these little, never mind.
They don't have
I'm going to send you
Dunkin'
some.
donuts, AJ.
Send Brian some Stroop waffles, Mr. Wait, those might be Belgian. I don't even know. Now
I
I'm
think
confused.
They are Belgian
Yeah.
actually.
So
Yeah.
so Kevgret, what up, Kevgret? Convinced me to post my Amazon wish list in the Discord, and I was like, I don't have an Amazon wish list. He was like, you should, and so like I was like, all right, fine. So like I put like coffee and PSN cards on it and stuff, and I was like, these are things that I need every day. So people
Yeah.
want to send me stuff, and I feel very weird about that kind of stuff, but now I feel like I should have Swedish fish on my wish list.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
They're
every day.
from
I mean, I brought you Swedish fish when I came up. I remember I bought you a little bag.
And they were
they're from
delicious.
I knew.
Gouda,
I knew.
South Holland. Stroop waffles are. I greatly
Holland.
apologize
Okay, I
for
thought they were.
how bad I fucked that up.
Well,
Next
Strip
we
waffle
have
aficionados
Cybermorph,
of the internet
AJ.
are upset.
my good buddy, Sinner 669, the unholy Game Cat. Meow.
There's an
That's-
exclamation point on that too.
That's a metal name right
It
there. I
sells
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Metal name.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What kind of metal, AJ?
Heavy metal.
Perfect. Okay,
Death metal,
there we go.
Then we have
black metal.
yes. Then we finally have one more. That's going to be Silly Gamer, the Game Cat. So
Silly gamer.
I did say that Jeremy was the funniest person I know, but hey, who knows, man? Silly Gamer might be in the running. This is totally a possibility. I mean, I don't know how silly Gamer is, but I'm sure we'll find out.
We will.
God, thank you everybody who changed your name to GameCat. I love seeing the support for the channel. You guys are awesome. Remember, hashtag GameCat in the comments if you change your name so we can give you a shout out on next week's show. But what we really do here on this show, AJ?
We would like to take a moment to answer all the questions sent in from the cats, either via Discord or on the in Discord. There's a hashtag viewer takeover section. There's also a you can leave a comment on any video. Leave a comment after this video, as long as it's on a live stream, and say hashtag viewer takeover and ask us a question. And we would like to get to know you more, or just have a great conversation. We always love your questions as you guys send in and answer them.
But most
piece by
importantly,
piece and break them down.
But most importantly, join the Discord server because that's where we all hang out anyway. And so, if you know, it's just like a bonus to leave your viewer takeover question there.
We
Click
were
the link
going
in the
crazy
description.
today. Did you like my purebred cat?
The purebred cat was awesome. I'm so glad it's filled with cheese.
Yes, we had conversations in the Discord today that ranged from Immortal Legacy to Aspire 1 to pizza and like dragon fruit. Remember dragon fruit?
I remember dragon fruit.
Those were the days.
Pizza is an ongoing discussion. That never actually stops. That just keeps going.
Yes, it should be. Yeah, I'm gonna make a pizza after this.
The conversation just immediately went into pizza. I don't even know how it happened. I don't even care, but it felt right.
The first question today on today's viewer takeover, 8 goddamn minutes, guys, comes to us from
that.
Yeah, we're way over that. Orseek the Game Cat.
I am Orseek.
From Discord, obviously. I think all these are from Discord this week. He writes, hashtag viewer takeover. We care about library compatibility for the PS5, but does it really matter? Library compatibility? I think we're saying backward compatibility. That's what I assumed when I read it.
Yeah, I think so.
Will we ever look back when we experienced the first PS5 VR titles? Our games could have a PS5 patch, but it's hard to believe when we didn't already have a PS4 Pro patch for so many of them. Maybe we'll keep coming back to multiplayer games like Firewall until the first multiplayer games hit the PS5. What he's asking here is how much do we really care about backward compatibility with the PS5?
A lot.
I think it's important because, you know, just because there's newer, fancier looking stuff out there. Like I started the show by saying I'm about to play Super Mario Sunshine and I'm excited. And that is a GameCube game. Games don't get bad just because they're old. And so there's always going to be somebody who still wants to go back and play Resident Evil 7 or No Man's Sky or Firewall or a lot of these games that we have. And even stuff like Job Sim or whatever, you know, if we don't get an equivalent thing on PS5, that's still a perfectly good game that people will want to go back to.
It's not only just important for us as well, it's also important for people that are new to VR and the ones that never, there's people that a year from now are going to be playing Astrobot for the first time and being like, oh my God, VR is amazing. Or Resident Evil 7 or Skyrim or something like that. And these are the people that I think it matters the most to. However, you know, I'm going through my backlog right now and playing tons of old games and having an absolute blast doing it. So it is something I want to have the option to do. But I think the most important part is for newcomers to VR.
Yeah, and especially like with that from a marketing standpoint, if you can say, hey, you just got a PS5, you just got a PSVR headset, we already have hundreds of games for you to play. You don't have to wait for the newest, you know, thing that's about to come out. You can just go through the store and everything works. And so I think that's a big, you know, selling point for a lot of people.
Yeah, it definitely give a lot of games a second chance, a new lease on life. There's so many games that are amazing that got totally overlooked. It's funny whenever we talk about a game on Why We Love and people go, I've never even heard of this game, because even people who are you know new to PSVR over the last year or even the last 2 years missed out on a ton of, you know, all of our hype when a new game would come around, and you know you talk about it for a couple of weeks and then you stop talking about it because something new has taken its place and something new has taken our excitement away from that game. And so it's given it, not only, as AJ was saying, does it give new PlayStation VR gamers you know, games to play, and a lot of them are really exciting experiences, but on top of that, these are developers that went out and took a risk on Gen 1 PSVR and probably sold a few 100,000 copies of their game because the audience was so small.
That's maximum. I mean,
that's
some
definitely
devs
maximum.
sold just a few thousand.
Yeah, we've definitely heard some horror stories, unfortunately. And so it gives them a second chance to sell their games on a new platform to a bunch of new people, which is essential. We want these developers to keep developing VR games, and to give them a way to sell to more customers is important. There's also a whole side of it, like game preservation. I mean, like that is like as a video game collector and somebody who wishes that the PlayStation 5 would be backward compatible with PS1, 2, 3, and 4. Like,
Oh yeah.
because I got those games sitting on my wall back there, man. Like, I would love it if my PS5 would let me put in a PS2 disc and upscaled it to HD, so it didn't look like garbage on my HD TV. That is amazing, man. Like, game preservation is super important, and so many of these games just fall by the wayside, and we never talk about them ever again. And having an easy platform to play them on, rather than hooking up. Dave, you were just talking about trying to hook up all these retro systems to your TV.
My Dreamcast.
What a
my Wii,
pain,
all that
right?
stuff. It is a pain in the ass, and I had to
Yeah,
buy all these adapters and stuff, and just it's not easy.
I've got my PS1, 2, 3, and 4 right here.
It's nice.
And yeah, I'd rather just have one console.
Yeah,
run them all.
the other thing with this is like a lot of people who are early PS5 adopters are probably going to trade in their PS4 to be able to afford it right at launch.
Nice.
And
Also
so
true.
if you're getting rid of something that has all the games you've already paid for and you can't still play them on your PSN account, that's a huge pain in the ass. I mean, I don't even think I would trade it in at that point. I would just have a PS5 sitting next to my PS4, which is, I don't think anybody really wants that if we can avoid it. So
I think people also forget that after you get the slew of games during, if you have a crazy launch, you get a ton of new games all at once, and then you sometimes go months without anything substantive, and then you go back into the PlayStation Store and you go, oh, what can I play? And you see all these PS4 VR titles, and you're like, oh yeah, look at this. There's tons of stuff to keep me busy that I might have missed out on last gen.
All right,
guys.
so for the second question, we've got Rypop from the Discord. It says hashtag viewer takeover like a pro. It says, good day, gentlemen's.
And good
Well,
day
the
back to
second, well, the second Without Parole tournament is about to take place, and yes, this is a shameless plug. But what games would you breathtaking beasts love to see in upcoming tournaments? I have a few in the pipeline, but I want to know what you guys would like to see. As always, stay breathtaking. And I just want to say, you're breathtaking, right, Pop? You're all breathtaking. The Catnip Cup, Catnip Tournament, Catnip Games was originally founded by Mr. Grim Catnip, also known as Kelly. What's up, dude? Miss you, man. Hope you've been well. And we started it last year or 2 years ago, and there was a game. It always works best with some racing game, something like that. So I would love to see a return to form with Sprint Vector. I think Sprint Vector is a fantastic game and really is a lot of fun when you have some buddies to play with. And the Catnip Cup has proven over and over that we just have an absolute blast with people and the Game Cats. And that is a game I've been dying to revisit, but the AI is just too easy for me now. So I need some good competition from the cats. That is my pick.
mine's a little bit left field here, and we haven't done this before, but I would be excited to see a game that is team-based, say like a firewall tournament or something like Battlezone, and you all set up the same conditions, but whoever gets the highest score on that run or goes the farthest or something like that wins. Because I always love cooperative stuff. And there hasn't really been anything so far in the tournaments that we've done. But in esports in general, a lot of it is team-based stuff. So I'd love to see something like that.
This might sound like kind of a generic answer if you've been following the Catnip games for a while. But, now that Rypop's sort of in control of the tournaments and stuff, I wouldn't
doing a great job, Ry.
Absolutely. I wouldn't mind double dipping in going back and doing some of the games that the Catnip Cup had organized before. And the one that always comes back to mind is Rush VR, because
Nice.
Yeah, that's really fun.
so
Yeah, I
good.
like Rush.
yeah, there's obviously the bigger spectrum of opponents you have, the better, right? Like playing against one or two or three other people is always fun. But when you have 8 people in wingsuits, there's something really special about knowing that like the dude that's flying to your left or to your right, or that you just saw crash into a mountain, is one of your actual buddies. Like there's something very, very special about that, flying through the air together. And it's like, yeah, it's competitive, sure, But man, it's such an awesome feeling to be racing in that way with your friends. So I'd love to do that.
Fantastic multiplayer experience, and they still have that molten volcano level in the works.
Yeah.
When is that coming? I heard about that a while ago.
Yeah, Brian, we need to reach out to them and see what's going on with that. I know they halted production on that because of Mini Motor Racing X. They wanted to get that out the door, so they pulled their team from there. But I told them, they even need to be advertising, throw up some billboards for that molten lava level, or whatever it is, the volcano
Level, yeah.
Yeah, and that would be a great time to host a Catnip Cup tournament in Rush once that drops.
Yeah, because that is what are there 4 types of terrain in that currently? 4 different maps?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's 3, but there's tons of courses that go through all those terrains. It would be awesome to see one that looks wildly different, like the lava map. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Binary Mill, if you're listening, let us know what's going on. We need to know. David, why don't you take the next question?
I will take the next one. It's from Gray 1954, and he says, #viewer takeover. This is from the Discord channel. RE7 is my favorite game and favorite VR game, and I was thinking about finally getting the guts to play Madhouse, and I was wondering if anyone had any tips for Madhouse. Now, I know this is going to go straight to Brian, because I've never even attempted it on even above normal difficulty, and I know Brian has done all kinds of crazy stuff. So, what do you think? Any tips?
So I just had to double check this because I've beaten the game so many times at this point. I had to double check what actually unlocks what. The first tip to play on Madhouse is to simply beat the game first. I'm pretty sure you have to beat the game before it unlocks Madhouse, if I'm correct.
Right.
But once you do, you get the Albert gun, which is awesome. Right, it's in your item crate from the beginning, and it's a pretty awesome weapon to begin with. And so just having beaten the game in the first place, you get that, and makes Madhouse slightly easier, considering that it's a more difficult game, slightly rearranged. Enemies are in slightly different places, and certain puzzles are a little bit different, slightly. My advice is to go in without knowing anything, because one of the beautiful things about Resident Evil 7 is going through the first time and not knowing what to expect. And then the only thing that's second to that is going through Madhouse, because it's slightly different, so you don't know what to expect. You walk into a room and you don't know if there's going to be an enemy there, because maybe there was the first time, maybe there wasn't. But this time, again, maybe there will be and maybe there won't be. They try to mix things up a bit. And so I would say don't do any research ahead of time. Really enjoy your Madhouse run. Take your time with it and enjoy it, because every run after that is either going to be a speed run, or you're going to be taking your time, like searching for all the collectibles. And it's like a little bit more work and a little bit more, I'm going to play this like a game because I'm playing a game, to try to like check things off my list. And so I would really want to say play through on normal blind, and then play through on Madhouse blind, and then after that start looking for tips and figuring out the best way to get through the Baker Estate. But man, just really enjoy Madhouse for what it is. Don't just go in totally blind.
Yeah, I agree. I took a year off after beating Resident Evil on the normal difficulty, and then came back a year later and then played it on Madhouse. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was just as fun as the first time I played it. And yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's not that much different, to be honest with you. And once you go through Madhouse once, you'll have that game down to a T, and then, like Brian said, you'll start speed running it after that.
Right.
It's addicting too. It's fun to replay.
It really is, especially when you realize that you can get through the game so quickly once you sort of know the ins and outs of the estate, and when you realize you can easily get through it in like 3.5 hours, like without even really trying all that hard.
Yeah.
That's when it starts getting really fun, because then after that you're like, okay, I just beat it, and now I've got infinite ammo for my next run. Oh, I just beat it, and now I've got the circular saw for my weapon, and with infinite ammo.
That sounds pretty nice.
I feel like that game, as it rewards you so much for beating it, and it really incentivizes you to beat it over and over and over again. And I can't say that for really too many other games, or for a whole lot of other games. the games aren't good enough for me to care about those little things. But this game is so good already, to have any excuse to play through it again is a good one, and these are really good excuses to play through it over and over.
You guys are making me want to play Resident Evil 7 again.
And then you have the DLC
have to do
after.
that. Yeah.
The banned footage or lost footage,
Banned footage 1 and 2,
volume 1.
Yep.
And then Not a Hero, and then End of Zoe, which I just beat recently.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. That game is. I want to go play it right now too. Like let's just cancel the rest of the show so we can all go play Resident Evil.
And I was just about to play Mario, and now I got to play Resident Evil.
Right. All right, and then the final question. Oh wait, there were 4 questions, so I guess it's back to me. This is from the Discord server from Marcus, aka Techno Gatsby. He says #viewer takeover. Going through the back catalog of PSVR titles, is there an average game on the platform that you'd really enjoy seeing a sequel to that truly could live up to its potential?
My first thought is Crisis Brigade. I think it's a really good proof of concept for a light gun shooting style game, back in the Time Crisis sort of way of doing things. And from what I've seen of what they're showing off for the sequel, it looks like it's going to be a big jump forward. So I just hope it lives up to its potential, because I think that could be a really, really fun, especially with the co-op and stuff like that. It could be very cool.
So I struggle to call this game an average game, but I kind of feel like it could be considered an average game by a lot of people.
Sirens
and
on
that's
my end.
going to be, oh God, I thought you were about to guess what I was about to say, but Sirento. It sounded like you were about to say Sirento.
That's funny.
And like I said, I struggle to call Sirento an average game, but in terms of the story and the campaign, the single player content, it wasn't a very good story, and it ended up being kind of just about the combat and nothing more. And I would love to see a sequel to Sirento that actually has like a fleshed out story and more of like maybe some bigger levels to go through, more sections, more enemy types, things like that. Some really cool boss fights, maybe where you're jumping around like a giant boss and climbing up it and stuff and fighting it. Because that's the closest thing to like a Devil May Cry style combat in VR that we have right now. And really the combat is amazing in that game. The locomotion, all that is really, really good. And that would be a game that I would love to see a sequel with better graphics, better story, maybe some better detection on like the pairing with the swords and stuff, more weapons, all the above. And I think that would be something very, very special.
I have to 1,000% agree with you on that. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to be excited about Sirento because of everything that it does right. Like the weapons
Right.
and the gunplay and all the stunts, all the flipping and quadruple jumping, and I mean, it is so much
So
fun to
good.
play that game. They've got the bones of an amazing AAA game there. Now they just need the AAA stuff stacked on top of it.
Right.
So I 100% agree with you as well. I hope this comes across in the right way. I loved this game, but it is very average, unfortunately. Megaton Rainfall. Megaton Rainfall is like
For sure.
the ultimate VR Superman game, right? And it feels so good, move controllers, DualShock 4, whatever. It feels good to just like fly out above the earth and fly down different. I mean, the whole earth is mapped out. Man, you can fly from place to place, and but the problem is there's like 10 missions, I think. I forgot how many exactly. And that's kind of it. There's some like outer space exploration. You're looking for the little flashy things. So there's some extra stuff, man. But like, it would have been so amazing if you're flying through a city and you, just like Superman, you have like super hearing and you're like, you hear help, and like you fly down and you see that there's a bank robbery in progress and something, and and you slow time and you like beat some dude up and you save the day with all these like little side missions. Like there's all these smaller things you could be doing as this generic Superman character that would make you feel just as heroic as taking down these aliens that are attacking a city. There's the potential for a sequel is endless, And I know that Pentadimensional Games was like one dude.
Yeah.
Right? And so what he did
Right.
was amazing, and it's like a $17 game. So it's great for what it is, but the potential for a sequel is enormous.
I agree. I find that game
Yeah.
to be painfully average.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not. It. What the vision of it is fantastic, but it never really fully fleshed out. And that was kind of a game that was a big. I have a bad story with that game because it was like everybody was over to play VR and they were excited to try it for the first time and they love superheroes and stuff and I showed that to them, and at the time it didn't even have move support. It only had DualShock 4, and it just everybody was just like, nah, like they're like, I don't really care about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, so yeah, would love to see an actual like fleshed out version of it.
Yeah. So I think that does it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. If you guys want to be part of next week's episode, make sure change your name to GameCat. Hashtag GameCat in the comments somewhere so we can give you a shout out next week's show. Also, hashtag Viewer Takeover in the comments, or join the Discord server and leave your question in the hashtag Viewer Takeover channel. Also, send your Viewer Takeover introduction. Remember, my name's Brian Paul. I'm a GameCat. This is Viewer Takeover to withoutparole@gmail.com. And of course, support us on Patreon if you can spare $1 or more every month. That's it. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ. My name's Brian. Later, cats. We're out.
My mom's always like, hope you had fun with your YouTube thing. And it's
No,
like,
there was this guy that he wanted me to. He was like, "Oh man," he was like, "Oh, I want to do that. Like, you know, I want to do that and make videos, and so I can retire, and like make some money." He's like, "Because I'm working too hard right now and stuff." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah,
I
you
don't
know,
know
me
if
being
that's how it
me,
works exactly.
It doesn't
Yeah.
take any work to make money on YouTube, as we all know.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Because everyone who started a YouTube channel just has millions of subscribers. That's how it works.
yes, no,